Almost every language and dialect uses melody and rhythm in a different way. In some languages, the pitch slides up on important words. In other languages, the pitch slides up and down, or the pitch slides up and down inside these words. Some languages have a rapid staccato monotone pattern. Other monotone languages are much slower with equal stress on all syllables. And any one of these patterns can cause some problems for a listener whose native speech has a different pattern. So what about good American speech? It doesn't glide in pitch, and it isn't flat on the same note. Effective American speech jumps up and steps down. In fact, I call the pattern jump up and step down intonation. And here's how it works. Inside each phrase or thought unit, the pitch jumps up to a higher note on an early important word. Then, immediately, on the very next syllable, the pitch starts moving down in small steps on every syllable that follows. And then the biggest downward step is on the last word or idea. Let's try that pattern first just with numbers. Instead of counting on one note like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, jump up on the word 2 and then bring the pitch back down in small steps, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do it? Now let's use the exact same pattern on this sentence. I'm very happy to meet you. Remember, don't do it flat. Don't do, I'm very happy to meet you. Instead, say it with jumps and steps. Repeat it after me. I'm very happy to meet you. Good. Now, let me remind you what we just did. We made a big jump on the word very, the early important word. I'm very. Then small downward steps on all the syllables that followed. Very happy to. And then we made an even larger downward step on the last important idea in the unit. Happy to meet you. Try the whole thing again. Repeat it after me. I'm very happy to meet you. And this is the pattern that gives listeners the impression of American speech music. Now let's try the pattern on another sentence. I'll call him on the telephone. Don't do it flat. Don't say, I'll call him on the telephone. Instead, jump up and step down. Repeat it after me. I'll call him on the telephone. Good. Don't be afraid to exaggerate the pattern, especially right now, even if it feels really silly. Try the pattern again on the next sentence. I'm going out of town next week. Don't do it flat, but really jump up and step down. Repeat it after me. I'm going out of town next week. Now, before we go too far with this, I want to help you avoid 3 big mistakes that students often make when they try using this pattern. First, make sure that you actually make the pitch higher. Some of my students get louder instead of jumping to that higher note. So don't do, I'm going out of town next week. Instead, make sure that you go to that higher note, then come back down. Repeat after me. I'm going out of town next week. It's almost like singing. Now here's another warning. Make sure that you actually jump to the higher pitch. Don't slide or glide up. Pitch glides are very necessary in some of your original languages, but upward glides almost always sound foreign and very confusing to American English speakers. So don't do, "I really can't accept your offer." Instead, jump and land up there on the new pitch. And then start down on the very next syllable. Repeat it after me. "I really can't accept your offer." Okay, good. Let's practice with one more sentence. Don't do, "I have to go shopping tomorrow." Instead, jump to that higher note. Repeat after me. "I have to go shopping tomorrow." Now here's another warning. After the jump, be careful to step down on every syllable, not just on every word. For example, don't say, "The government bureaucracy doesn't work." Don't stay on the same pitch on the words government, bureaucracy, doesn't. That's going to lead you back into the rhythm of your first language. So come down on every syllable. Repeat it after me. "The government bureaucracy doesn't work." Good. And as long as we're talking about those downward steps, don't forget that the last word or last idea takes a bigger downward step than the ones that went before. Bureaucracy doesn't work. You do it, really throw down that last idea. Repeat, "The bureaucracy doesn't work." Okay. Now here's a quick review of the basic pattern and all of the warnings. First, you jump up on an early important word. Don't just get louder, but jump up in pitch. But don't glide up in pitch, jump up in pitch. Second, step down in pitch on every syllable that follows. Not on every word, but every syllable. And then make your biggest downward drop on the last word or important idea. Okay. Let's practice doing all of these things together on some of the sentences we already spoke, and then on several other phrases. Repeat each one after me using our new pattern. "I'm very happy to meet you." "I really can't accept your offer." "I have to go shopping tomorrow." Now remember, I want you to really exaggerate, really make it feel strange, even weird. If you don't make these pitch changes really big, it won't be enough for native speakers to hear. So really exaggerate as you repeat each of these phrases. Thursday morning. Southern California. My real estate agent. New York City.